Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Watches, and today I'm going to be talking about the independently made black and white horror film The Devil's Hand from 1961. And in this movie we meet Rick Turner. Rick has a problem. He awakens night after night after seeing visions of a beautiful woman in a negligee dancing in the clouds. Oh, to have his problems, hey? And the visions disturb him. He doesn't really know why, but they do. And the resulting insomnia has left him short-tempered, short of concentration, and has driven him to quit his job. What Rick doesn't know is that he's been targeted by the beautiful witch Bianca, who intends to seduce him into her demonic cult, dally with him for a while, and then... Well, the movie never really explicitly says what happened to her previous distractions, but I doubt the retirement plan was very good. Rick quickly falls under Bianca's power, ditching his girlfriend Donna, who meanwhile is rendered bedridden by the cult's magical curses. However, in order to be fully accepted into Bianca's cult, Rick must first pass a test of loyalty. And while he does pass, the experience is sufficiently shocking that it prompts him to reconsider his actions. Of course, being suspected of turning against Bianca is sure to lead to great danger that he and Donna may not survive. So there's actually a half-decent B-grade thriller in this movie, with a couple of nice touches to it. Alas, that half-decent thriller is wrapped in generally poor but not quite so bad it's good acting, a sluggish plot and some laughably ill-staged action sequences, and I put the word action very much in inverted commas. It all adds up to a somewhat tepid experience, so let's talk about where and how The Devil's Hand loses its grip. So the opening of the film has our hero Rick meet his girlfriend Donna in a park, where they engage in exposition that is stiltedly masquerading as a conversation. We're clumsily signalled that Donna's much keener than Rick is about getting married before Rick delivers the double-barrel news that he's suffering on insomnia and has quit his job without telling his girlfriend beforehand. Now, having watched the whole film and thinking about it now, I suspect this latter plot point is supposed to seem wildly out of character for Rick. But seriously, I mean, we met this guy 2 minutes ago, and he's been pretty flaky throughout the whole conversation. We've got no way of knowing if this is in character or not, so the film isn't just telling rather than showing, it's doing a pretty bad job of the telling. Anyway, in any case, all this leads to Rick prowling the streets in affectedly noirish mode, complete with voiceover. He's just missing the rain and the fedora, really. It's an oddly idiosyncratic section of the film, though not the last one the film will have, particularly since it leads into the plot point of him finding a doll that looks just like the woman in his dreams, which is certainly not a typical outcome in a noir film. It's kind of an odd mishmash of genre going on there. So the second place that the film kind of goes astray is that it makes much of the sensual wiles of Bianca. And to be fair, she's played by Linda Christian, who was certainly an attractive woman. But I can't say I found her negligee dream dance very sensual. It felt kind of more slightly awkward, actually. I think this is definitely a case where a less obvious sexy element would have been more effective in selling her sensuality and desirability. I don't feel like, she doesn't seem comfortable doing the dance. It's not working the way it's supposed to. Of course, I mean, the whole idea that a sensual woman is an evil woman, which is at the heart of this film, is a very puritanical and regressive kind of way of thinking. But then, as recent political developments have shown, even today there's a lot of people out there with puritanical and regressive views, and they're pretty much determined to punish any woman whom they don't consider to meet their concept of virtuousness. But turning back to the movie, I did like that Bianca is not just an attractive woman. As I said, there are elements in this film that are actually quite good, and this is one of them. Bianca is a smart operator. She's not prone to unjustified hubris. When Rick starts to doubt his allegiance to her, she's pretty quick to become suspicious of him. Not for her the common trope of being pathologically certain of her feminine wiles. I've got him wrapped around my little finger. No, she's fairly on the ball, actually. And I've got to give the film a nod of recognition for that, at least. So then, finally, the very end of the movie features a rather quirky change of tone. Like I said, the kind of oddly noirish section is not the only time where the film diverts into a kind of different film tonally and even genre-wise. I mean, on the whole, the movie has played things pretty serious up to this point. It's gone to some considerable lengths to establish that Rick and Donna are in very real danger of losing their lives, culminating in the threat of an imminent human sacrifice. But after they narrowly avoid this fate and seem to escape the clutches of the cult, we get what I've called a bewitched ending. Now, that show wouldn't exist for another 3 years, so it's not actually a bewitched ending, but it feels exactly like something that might have been on that program. We go from the film's previously sort of murderous and malevolent Bianca to a mischievous TV-friendly witch instead, who ends the movie by giving the camera a cheeky grin and a teasing quip to the effect that it's not over yet. I don't know if this was intended to lighten the overall tone of the film. Was it intended to be a kind of spooky stinger? It's not over yet. That somehow got wildly misdirected and became this kind of quirky, hokey thing. I don't know. I'm not sure what was in the filmmakers' minds, but it does certainly come across as another example of the film not keeping its tone and genre consistent throughout. So that's The Devil's Hand. It's a not especially well made and occasionally very confused little movie. I probably enjoyed it more than it genuinely deserves. It is, as I said, a bit tepid and slow, but I did find some of its clumsier and more baffling moments kind of inadvertently entertaining. So, but probably not something that I'd be recommending you rush out and try unless you've really got a passion for these kind of low budget black and white films of Hollywood's yesteryear. So that's The Devil's Hand. Next time, we're going to stay in the same decade, but move to colour and to a very different genre, 1969 Western Sabata. But that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.